stay long, but we must choose one road and keep going. Let me tell you what the road I choose and led me to here. My journey started in Syria, my home country, in a town where people, including my parents, were so interested in passing on their Catholic faith and moral values to their children. I remember how my family would go to church often, especially on Sundays. My siblings and I went to a camp every summer to learn about the Bible and and live on our own for several days under the supervision of Jesuit priests. My parents were interested about sending us to the schools and universities. Actually, they dedicated themselves completely to help us attain our potential in the education field, so we all graduated from good schools. So after I graduated from pharmacy school in Damascus, I had to work in a small village for 2 years in order to get my permanent pharmacy license. After finishing those 2 years, I opened my own pharmacy in a big, beautiful city that was located on the Mediterranean Sea coast. It was an adventure for me because it cost me a lot of money and it was not the best location in the city. But with my hard work, I could have been successful and I got a grade B on it. After working several years, my sister and I got immigration visas to the US. I was so excited about this great opportunity, but it was not easy for me to make my decision because I knew what a challenge I was going to face in the United States. I knew that I would have to leave my country, my language, and my beloved ones forever. Moreover, my pharmacy that took me several years and a lot of hard work to build. A big conflict started between my mind and my heart. Many people blamed me that I was going to leave my pharmacy, my town, and everything else. My friends begged me not to leave. They said that my life was beautiful and I had every reason to stay there. They were right, but the problem was that if I had missed this opportunity, I would have been disappointed of myself forever. Finally, after 1 year, I could have said goodbye. It was painful. My sister and I went together on the same trip. We both were sad and cold. After the airplane took off, we kept looking out of the window, watching Damascus until it disappeared. She cried all the way. I tried to control myself to encourage her. When we arrived at Boston Airport, it was a big moment, the moment that separated my two chapters of life. I could not believe I was on a new land. We both were fascinated by the greatness of this country. My other sister and my brothers who came to the US several years before us were so welcoming and loving, and they supported us a lot. In the US, I started from 0 point. I had to learn everything. The hardest part was the language and communication as well, as the new lifestyle I had to adopt. I registered in a school to study English, but felt the class was so slow, so I left and started studying English on my own. But after a while, I realized that learning language is not easy. It is not like math and biology. Learning language is like when you adopt a child, you have to love it. It has to be a part of myself. So I decided to go out and interact with native people. I found a volunteer job in the Good Samaritan Hospital pharmacy. I started to work there. My supervisor there was really a nice person. Once he invited me to attend a presentation for pharmacy school, for pharmacy students. And while I was watching them, an idea emerged in my head that I should have entered the university. So in this way, I got enrolled in the Bluegrass and Technical Community College, KCPC. I took a placement test there and I passed it. So I was accepted with American students. It was so exciting for me, but I was terrified at the same time, especially whenever I heard the students talking so fast and so fluent in the corridors. But the good news is the professors, the teachers were so helping, encouraging, and patient. That made me find it easy. After a while, I found myself sitting among American students and compete for grade A. Like American students, I really got A's and B's. For instance, I remember Dr. Wright, in writing to class, would return our essays several times and not grade it until we made it perfect. After finishing several classes with American students, I needed a class to improve my English conversations. Someone referred me to ESL department. So there was a class for conversation starting next day. So there was no time to take a placement test. The next day I came and I met Professor Gilbertson there. I explained my situation to him, and he told me I would help you according to your level. It was stunning for me. We started the class. Professor Gilbertson was so patient, encouraging, listening to us. We talked, we discussed a lot of subjects during his class. And with our homework for speaking, he gave us his books. I remember Verdi was written by his father. It was amazing. In this book, I learned a lot, many things. I learned many things about American culture, historical events, and at the same time, the family, American family, especially how immigrated like me. So it was so beneficial. After a short time, I just realized I learned a lot in this class during short time. So Bluegrass Community and Technical College was really a blessing for me. It made me fall in love with English. I started to think and talk to myself in English, and that was what I was looking for exactly. This experience learned me that to stay open to life opportunities. Because whenever I go, I can find nice people, beautiful language, and beautiful places. At the same time, I can keep my friends, my older friends. I can still communicate or call my friends, my relatives, my country, and I have my own language. So it is a blessing. Thank you all.